think we're going live already. I'll need to take you off stage, so I'll bring you up.
All right.
Okay, looks like we're live. Um, Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. Let me know if you can hear me and if you can see me today. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Let me know where you're connected from. Good evening and welcome, 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 welcome to the vital discussion on womanhood, wellness, and hormones. Good evening. Hi, mom. Good evening. So, where are you connected from? Let's get to meet you. Where are you connected from? Let's get to meet you. Where are you connected from tonight? Good evening. Good evening. I see Rashida Trufos. Good evening. I see Kende Taufikat. Good evening from Osun State. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Let's keep it coming. Kindly comment where are you connected from tonight and what is your name as well. So we get to meet you. From Lagos. All right. Thank you. I see you. I see you. I see you. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. I still wait for people to join us. We are waiting for everyone to come up, to come on board, to come on board. Please kindly share the link on your status so everyone knows that we are live and it's time for the session. Please kindly share the link on your status, in your groups, everywhere, Facebook, WhatsApp, everywhere shareable. So people know that we are live and that it's time for the session as well. All right, still waiting. Before I bring up our guest speaker, our amazing guest speaker for tonight. So I would love to see that people are on board and you are ready, 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 ready for the session. Okay, I think I'm back. Sorry about that. All right, so how ready are you for tonight's session? Please post on your status. We are live and let's get everybody on board for this amazing session tonight. And kindly comment wherever you are connected from, your name and where you are connected from tonight as well. We'd love to get to meet you. Welcome to Health Talk with Kemi. This is a YouTube platform designed to empower everyone about their health so you can make informed decision about your health as well and live a healthy life. It is God's will that you also live a healthy life. And that's what we do here on this platform. You get accurate information, up-to-date information about your health and how to become better as well. And welcome. And if you are yet to subscribe, please hit the red button below to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And please keep on sharing, keep on sharing. Let's reach a larger audience tonight. Let's get to everyone tonight. Keep on sharing before I bring up the guest speaker for tonight. Hi, Peace. How are you? Good evening. I see you. Good evening. Peace from Ilori. Nice to meet you. Thank you for joining tonight. Please do us a favor. Kindly post everywhere on your status. And we are live. We're live. So everyone can know that we are live and they can join in as well. Good evening. And I also love to know if you have any questions that you love to ask, but you do not want to ask them on this platform, please send me a message so we can reach out to you and respond to your question as well. Good evening. Yes, I see more people joining in. Thank you. Thank you. Kindly drop a comment. Where are you connected from tonight? Let's get to meet you. Where are you connected from tonight? Kindly type out your name in the chat box and let's get to meet you as well. Where are you connected from? Welcome to Health Talk with Kemi. And my name is Kemi. My name is Omole Uluwa Kemi, and I'm connected from Ilorin. So let's get to meet you as well and let's know where you're connected from tonight. Thank you. And please keep sharing, keep reposting. We are live, we are live, we are live, we're live. And let's get to reach a larger audience tonight. All right, so are you ready for tonight's session? Are you ready for tonight's session? Are you ready? Let me see the ready, 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 ready. So I know that it's time to bring up our guest speaker. And trust me, it's going to be an amazing session because, in all my publicity, if you've seen it at all, I keep saying one of the best in our field. So it's going to be an amazing session, and ensure that you ask questions if you need clarity on specific areas, or just ask questions. I mean, you are here to gain knowledge, you are here to learn, you are here to relearn, unlearn, learn again, learn again. Even if you are a male, right? No knowledge is wasted. You use it for your sister, for your brother, I mean, for your mom, your sister, your cousin, your wife too, right? So ensure you are actively listening and ensure that you ask questions if there if there is any need to ask any question as well. Thank you. Thank you. I think we are good to go. I'm ready to bring the guest speaker. I see I'm ready from Peace. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And I believe that Dr. Mutiat Salami is also ready for us. I can see her. She's already backstage. She's ready for us. And hi, good evening, Prof. YK Salami. Good evening. Good evening. And I know that she is ready, 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 ready for us tonight. So before I bring her up, I would love to read her profile because we cannot bring up such dignitary without reading her profile. So I love to read Dr. Mutia's profile tonight. Hi, good evening. Atinuke Ayokbo from Oshogbo. Nice to have you on board. Thank you for joining me. Good evening. Thank you. Thank you. All right, so I'd love to read Dr. Mutia's profile. Meet the speaker, and I believe you can see a picture. It's well displayed on the screen right now, so I believe you can see a picture as well. Dr. Mutiat Salami is a medical doctor. I would love that you appreciate and celebrate our guest speaker in the comment section as well, because she's going to be dishing out lots of knowledge based on experience, not just theoretical of I've read it, right? It's something she has been doing, she's used to, she has the knowledge, right? So Dr. Mutiat Salami is a medical doctor and women health advocate, passionate about making sexual and reproductive health information accessible and stigma-free. She currently serves as a medical officer and community manager at Fertitude, a digital health platform supporting women on their reproductive journey. With a keen interest in global health, she explores how policy, innovation, and research intersect to drive equitable health solution. Our work in advocacy and digital health has earned her recognition as the winner of the Bella Niger Style African Females Doctor Week and a featured trailblazer in their Women's Month campaign. Can you see that? Can you see we have a very special person here with us tonight? She even got an award. So please, as she's speaking, ensure that you listen. And our work, okay, she remains committed to closing the knowledge gap in women's health, one conversation at a time. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome with me on stage, Dr. Mutiyat Salami. Thank you. Over to you, ma'am. Okay, let me just remove this.
Thank you very much, Skemi, for that, for that, what would I call it now, the way you introduced me onto the stage. I'm very happy to be here, and it's my pleasure. Sorry, can you guys hear me? Can everybody hear me? Skemi, I want to be sure that everyone can hear me before I proceed. Okay, yes, I can see reactions. Okay, so as she has said, I'm Dr. Mutiat Salami. Yes, I'm a medical doctor and I'm a reproductive health enthusiast. Majorly, my mission is to ensure that every woman is well informed and can make decisions about, their reproductive health using adequate information. Because in my practice, I realize that a lot of women, they don't actually know what is going on in their body, or they don't know what is going wrong. Like something even as simple as, let's say, their cycle length, or even their last menstrual period, the day of their last menstrual period. Some of them don't know. And I'm not throwing any shade. If I say anything and you feel like, oh, Dr. Mutiat, just call out my name. It's me you are talking to. I want you to, react in the comment section so that you will know that you are not alone, and other ladies can also see that they are not alone. It happens a lot. Commonly in our practice, we realize that women don't really know enough when it comes to their body. And that is why this session today, we are here to demystify everything. So um, as I said, I'm going to be talking about hormones, wellness, and womanhood. I want to confirm that you can see my slide. Now, scare me. Please, if you can see my slide, let me know in the comment section. Okay, yes. So I'm going to be talking about hormones, wellness, and womanhood, just like I've said. Okay, so I'm going to start with this image because I realized that, as I said, a lot of women probably don't even know how their internal reproductive organs looks like. So I'm going to be talking about them. So you can see this region called the ovary. You can see the ovary. The ovary basically is like the organ that actually houses our eggs. And each month, eggs get developed, and one egg is going to get matured enough and it's going to be released. And that process of the egg being released is called ovulation. Yeah, because I'm going to be referring to ovulation later on when I start talking more about the hormones. So it's important for us to know what ovulation actually means. So ovulation basically is the process in which the ovary releases the eggs, a matured egg, one egg each cycle. So when the egg is released, the egg passes through the fallopian tube. This is the fallopian tube. You can follow the image, and then you can see where it's labeled as the uterus. That is actually what you know as your womb, and that is the part of the body that actually houses the baby whenever fertilization occurs. Then we can also see the cervix and the vagina. So the vagina is like the pathway through which the baby comes out, and is also the pathway or the region where the penis is inserted during penetrative sexual intercourse. Okay, now what are hormones? Let's start from there. So basically, hormones are chemical messengers that that signals each part of the body to perform a particular function. What do I mean? The body, like the different organs, cannot just work in isolation. They need a messenger to tell them that okay, it is time for this lady to release her egg to ovulate. The hormone sends that signal, and then ovulation occurs. Then another hormone would also say, okay, there is no fertilization this month. It's time for there's no fertilization this month. That means she has to see a period. Then an hormone makes that signal, and then a woman sees a period. And apart from even the female reproductive cycle or whatnot, hormones are they come into play in different aspects of the body. Like for instance, growth. It is an hormone that tells your body when you are young that this little child needs to grow. And then when you become an adult, it's also these hormones that tells the body that okay, enough growing for now. This has to stop. So an hormone puts an end to this. So the body, there has to just be an interplay of hormones telling the body when to start, when to stop, and whatnot. Now I'm going to be talking about the key hormones that come into play when it comes to a female cycle. Now I'm going to start with estrogen. Estrogen, I like to call it the queen hormone. So it regulates your menstrual cycle and it supports bone health. And if you don't know, your menstrual cycle is actually divided into two phases. We have the follicular. I'll still talk about this. I have an image talking about it in more details. But we have the follicular stage. That is the stage before your ovulation, and then you have the luteal phase. That is after your ovulation. So estrogen is more dominant during the follicular stage. That is before the egg is released. The estrogen is more prominent, and it is actually the estrogen that also signals another hormone called the luteinizing hormone. It signals this hormone that okay, it's time for ovulation, and that hormone now triggers ovulation. So estrogen is very, very important. However, it can fluctuate in some people, and this can lead to, if it is too much, you can have cases of, it can contribute to what we know as premenstrual syndrome, which some people have it bad, in which they are moody, they have breast tenderness, they have fatigue, can also cause low libido, and as I said, it helps with bone health. And estrogen actually declines after menopause. And that is why, if you know, maybe your mother or your grandma, you notice that probably after 40 to 50 years, when they reach or when they attain menopause, you notice that probably their bone health sort of reduces. Maybe you notice that probably they are more prone to having fractures, or they're just complaining of bone pains generally. This is common in women after menopause because estrogen that actually helps with bone health is removed. The production is like taken to zero after menopause, and then the effect of lack of estrogen can be more pronounced. Also, progesterone. Now, progesterone basically is more dominant after ovulation. So it is progesterone that signals to your womb that, okay, oh, this month we are expecting either a bouncing baby boy or bouncing baby girl, and we need to prepare ourselves. So it is the progesterone that prepares the womb for the potential baby. And it is when, like, towards the end of the cycle, when no fertilization occurs, the progesterone reduces, and it's that reduction in progesterone that actually triggers the menstruation, that monthly bleeding that you see. Now, testosterone, I like to refer to testosterone as the silent supporter. I know some of you are wondering, testosterone, is that not a male hormone, right? Okay, yes, it is a male hormone, but you'll be shocked that the female body actually produces some male hormones. We call them androgens, and testosterone is one of them. However, they are produced in a smaller quantity compared to what is found in a male, but they're very important because testosterone helps support libido, and it also helps us to, build some muscle mass. And testosterone is predominant at ovulation, and that is why, if you notice, during ovulation, females, there is increase in libido, and this is basically just the body's way of encouraging the woman to have sexual intercourse in order to um get the sperm to fertilize the egg. So I mean, God works in miraculous ways, right? Please, if you agree with me, please drop a comment. I want to see your reactions, and I want to be sure that we are all on the same page. So that's function of testosterone. However, testosterone, if it is too much, it can lead to acne, excess hair, because these are the things that are found in males. Okay, thank you very much. I can see Rashida through first. Okay, so for if testosterone is is too much in a female, that is where it can cause excessive facial hair, acne, because some of these things are actually typically found in males, like facial hair, beards. However, when the level of testosterone in a woman is a little bit on the high side, she might start having some of these features. However, if it is too little, it can cause fatigue, low libido, and brain fog. Now, the fourth one is cortisol. Cortisol is actually referred to as the stress hormone. So whenever you are stressed, your body releases an hormone called cortisol, and it helps your body to respond to stress. However, if you are that is this is an important hormone, because it responds to stress, and that is why we advocate and we keep telling women that please try and get enough rest, try and make sure everything is in order, that you're living like a healthy, balanced, stress-free life, because too much of cortisol, we don't want that at all, because cortisol has other effects. When cortisol is too much, it can lead to abdominal fat, and it just messes up your other hormones. So we don't want that at all. And it also even reduces your immunity. It reduces your immunity. You'll be prone to more infections and whatnot. Okay, then we have insulin. Insulin basically regulates blood sugar levels. What do I mean? So imagine after you finish taking a meal filled with glucose and sugar. Now it is the insulin that the body releases, and insulin sends the signal and allows the body to actually absorb the glucose into the organs and tissues so that it can be converted into energy. So it is very important. Now, why are we talking about insulin here? Because even males have insulin. This is because there's a condition called insulin resistance that can be found in conditions like PCOS. Yes, I know some of us have been waiting for me to mention PCOS. We'll still get there. Just relax. So insulin resistance is a key part of PCOS, because imagine, had it been normally, you need like 2 units of insulin to cause this glucose to enter into the body and the organs to be used. But some people, their body will just say, no, I don't want, I can't. They act as if they can't hear that insulin. The body just refuses to act. So they have to produce more insulin. That's the insulin resistance. They need to produce more, maybe 10-fold the normal, in order to do the work that 2 units of insulin is supposed to do. And by that, they accumulate a lot of insulin. And a lot of insulin is not good for the body, because it also predisposes to hormonal imbalance. It just messes up the normal cycle, and then can also trigger increase in male hormones like testosterone and whatnot. And it also is actually responsible for some of the features that we see in PCOS. However, I'll get there. And If I didn't mention this at the beginning of this presentation, please, I hope everybody is with their pen and papers because I'm going to be dishing out a lot of gems. So please, I want you to take note of these hormones, these terminologies, and what to look out for. Now, thyroid hormones. Thyroid hormones basically controls metabolism, and metabolism is like, I don't know if it's a big word or it's a medical word, but what it just means is the process of breaking down food to release energy. So thyroid hormone, just see it as like the body's thermostat because it regulates the body's activities. Now, when thyroid hormone, when it's too much in the body, when thyroid hormone is too much in the body, that means that once you eat anything, the body is just breaking it down like rapidly into energy forms. That means the body doesn't even have the chance to take on any of this food that you've eaten as fats. So that can lead to weight loss, excessive weight loss, palpitations, because your body is just firing. Everything is going at a fast rate. Like your body's metabolism is just going to be fast. So palpitations, anxiety, and it also causes irregular periods. Now, when this thyroid hormone is also too little, there's another downside to it, because if it is too little, imagine the driving force of the body. If it is too little, then the person will be sluggish. Notice that you're tired, you're gaining weight, because when you eat, the hormone that is supposed to break down whatever you eat into energy is not breaking it down. So your body is just going to store your food as fat. So weight gain can also lead to heavy periods, depression, yeah, and whatnot. Okay, now luteinizing hormone. I mentioned luteinizing hormone earlier when I said that estrogen actually leads to the production of an hormone. That is the luteinizing hormone. So luteinizing hormone is what triggers ovulation. And then follicle stimulating hormone is the hormone that stimulates egg maturation. So that means at the beginning of your menstrual cycle, it is the follicle stimulating hormone that sends a signal to the ovary to start producing eggs and leads to the development of the eggs. So I've tried to actually break down these hormones into simpler terms. They do a lot, but I've tried to like simplify it, and I hope we understand it up or onto this point. Please, if you understand me, let me see your reactions. Let me see your comments. Okay. So I also put up this image to just sort of show us what happens during your menstrual cycle. Um, so the duration of the menstrual cycle actually ranges between 21 to 35 days. But I'm using a 28-day cycle here because that's like the typical cycle. Whenever we want to have a presentation or something, we use a 28-day cycle. However, the normal range is between 21 to 35. So if your cycle length falls between this range, you are absolutely fine. And I need to know that what is a normal cycle length to you might not be normal for somebody else. Because, for instance, Taye's menstrual cycle length can be 28, and that is normal for her. While Kehinde's cycle length might be 33, and that is normal for her. So if Taye's maybe from 28, if Taye be a particular month, Taye sees that her cycle length is 32, that is abnormal for Taye. However, it is not abnormal for Kehinde. I don't know if you get my point. So to each his own. You just need to like know what your cycle length, and it can vary between 2 to 3 days each month. Like this month it can be 30, next month 29, next month 31. Like it's still within the same range, so that is fine. Now, you can see that at the middle of this graph, we put ovulation. There's also a myth that ovulation always happens on day 14. No, that is not true. What happens is that how you calculate your ovulation day is that your ovulation day is your cycle length minus 14 days. What do I mean? If your cycle length is 30 days, that means the day of your ovulation is 30 minus 14, and that gives you 16. So that means day 16 is the day you actually ovulate, and then you can calculate your fertile window from there, which is like 3 to 5 days, from 3 to 5 days before and after. Those are your fertile windows. So just take note of that. Now, but for the sake of this presentation, we're going to be using 28 days. And just like I've explained, you can see at the upper part, you can see the eggs as they are increasing in size. That is the process of the egg developing. And you can also see that the green line, FSH, is represented as the green line. That's the follicle stimulating hormone. You can see that it is the highest at the beginning of the cycle. And as I said, it stimulates the brain to start developing the eggs. So that is why FSH is high there. Then we can see that towards ovulation, estrogen starts increasing, and estrogen reaches a peak before ovulation, and it is that peak in estrogen that sends a signal to luteinizing hormone, that is LH. It is the one represented with in pink. It sends a signal to luteinizing hormone LH. The pink one, I can see this steep surge. It increases rapidly and triggers ovulation. And at that ovulation, you can see the egg coming out of that pinkish stuff. So that is the process of ovulation. And after ovulation, LH goes back to being low, while progesterone now increases. At the other side, the luteal phase, that is the progesterone. And as I explained, progesterone is what gets your womb ready to house the baby. And towards the end of the luteal phase, the progesterone goes down because no baby, you see your period once there's no baby. So that leads to that. So I hope we all just understand the hormones that come into play when we are talking about the menstrual cycle. These are the key players for the menstrual cycle. All right. Now we're going to talk about common hormonal imbalances in women. You can see the image to the right of your screen. This is basically trying to show that as a woman, our body runs on hormones. You see a lot of things that all those hormones do. Like your cycle, basically, each part of your cycle, everything you are feeling, hormones are, there's a particular hormone that is sending a signal for this to happen, for this to happen. And they have to all occur they have to all be balanced, because a particular hormone is supposed to be in a particular amount at a particular time, not the other way around. So once there is any balance, any imbalance, any tilt towards the other side, you can see the woman looks distressed. That is because there's already an imbalance in our hormones. Now, what are the common hormonal imbalances? So I'm going to start from irregular period, which is very common. Now, causes of irregular period, it could be from stress. It could be from stress. Now, some people, you might have noticed that sometimes when you are probably preparing for an exam, you have like a lot of workload, you're just stressed. Generally, you might notice that probably your period might come late, or you just notice that there's something wrong with your period, and then when you are now balanced, your period comes back to being. I don't know if there's anybody who has ever experienced that. Please just let me know that. Just put it out there. I'm sure there are other females like you who are also going through something like this. So yeah, it happens like that for stress leading to irregular periods. Then being overweight or being underweight, you might be surprised, because the body, actually, there's a level of fat that the body needs to stimulate ovulation. There's a level of fat that the body needs to be able to even produce estrogen. I mentioned that estrogen helps. There's a high estrogen during the follicular phase. That's before ovulation. So estrogen is needed to trigger luteinizing hormone, which triggers ovulation. Do you understand that link? Are we linking it already? Because I already explained those hormones. So as I'm discussing, I'm also expecting that you're also linking everything together. Yeah. All right. So so for some people, if you are underweight, it might just send a signal to the brain and just tells the brain that, okay, this person doesn't have enough nutrients or enough raw materials to produce estrogen, and she's not going to ovulate this month. There, stay there. Now, if you are overweight also, too much of this fat can also impede estrogen's function and cause imbalance, and then the body also sends a signal to the brain and prevents ovulation. So underweight, overweight, we don't want any of that. That is why we also say, okay, try and maintain a healthy weight. I know it's not easy, but I mean, you just have to try, right? It's not easy to be a woman, no, it's not easy, but you just have to keep trying. Okay, then there's also something called polycystic ovarian syndrome. That is what we know as PCOS, and it also causes irregular. It can also cause irregular periods. However, that's number 3, and I'll still talk about it. Now, PMS and mood swings. PMS is what we know as premenstrual syndrome. So premenstrual syndrome basically it has been linked to the drop in progesterone that occurs before you menstruate. Yeah, because some people notice that during this period, they are just feeling so moody, they are down, all the bloating and whatnot. And I mentioned earlier also that excessive estrogen can also cause add to PMS, what we know as estrogen dominance, adds to PMS. So that's already an imbalance. And progesterone deficiency, when progesterone is too low, because progesterone is supposed to counteract estrogen. Remember that balance. So once progesterone is too low, it gives rise to, or it contributes to PMS. Once estrogen is too high, it contributes to PMS. Remember our balance. Yeah. Okay. And then there's actually an hormone called serotonin. It's called serotonin. It is a feel-good hormone. That hormone is actually found in both males and females. However, it has been research has shown that during the menstrual period, the premenstrual, the perimenstrual period, the serotonin hormone level drops in the body in women, and that also that contributes to the moody feeling and whatnot. Remember, serotonin is a feel-good hormone, so once it's low, it also contributes to PMS. Okay, then we have PCOS. So PCOS basically is okay. Sorry, PCOS basically is like the prototype for hormonal imbalance in women. What do I mean? Now, what happens in PCOS is that the hormones that I've talked about that helps to encourage ovulation, the estrogen, the luteinizing hormone, the follicle stimulating hormone, they are out of sync. Something just happens, they're just out of sync. And when this occurs, it makes it difficult, or it leads to the body not ovulating at all or doing so irregularly. And when this happens, it can either lead to your period being delayed, like being prolonged. I mean, sorry, your period being delayed, that is, you're not seeing your period. Or for some people, their period comes too regularly, too frequently. Or some people, they don't even see their period at all. It depends on the level of these imbalances in each person, right? Now, also, that is not all. PCOS also now leads to the pronunciation of, or the increase rather, in the male hormones I spoke about, the androgens, the testosterone that I spoke about. So once there is an increase in these other hormones that are supposed to be minimal in a female's body, that also dysregulates the cycle. So instead of your body releasing an egg each month like clockwork, because when I explained this, the menstrual cycle, it's like a clockwork. It goes the same way. That is what will make it regular. It goes the same way, month in, month out. But it disrupts that balance. It disrupts that cycle, and there is a break. And the increase in testosterone that is seen is also responsible for those symptoms like acne that people with PCOS might have, facial hair, and whatnot. So yeah, that explains it. Then also there's a third thing: insulin resistance. I mentioned insulin resistance the other time. Insulin resistance also comes to play in PCOS, and that predisposes people with PCOS to conditions like diabetes, because I mentioned that insulin drags the sugar or the glucose in your food into the body so that the body can use it, or into the organs or your tissue so that they can use it to be converted to energy. So however, when the body is resistant to that insulin, there's an increase in the glucose level in the blood, and that can be converted to fat, and then that can lead to weight gain, and it also makes it difficult to even shed those weight. And that increase in glucose can predispose people to having diabetes, because diabetes majorly is high blood sugar, high blood glucose. That is what diabetes is. So it can lead to that. That is why we have to be cautious. Now, people might ask that, okay, what are the causes? Like, what causes this PCOS? The funny thing about PCOS is that the research concerning PCOS is still very limited, and the causes is still, evading scientists. Like, what exactly is causing it? But they have some theories, or there are some things that have been linked to this PCOS. So, genetics or hereditary. Like, some people basically they have PCOS because it runs in the family, like it's I mean because they were just born with that genetic makeup, like genetics, like your genetic makeup, that's how you were born. You are predisposed to having that imbalance happening. You just can't explain it. It's just born with you. Like, that's what genetics is like referring to. Then also insulin resistance. Yes, PCOS causes insulin resistance, but the thing is that insulin resistance also causes PCOS. So, like, for people that are obese or they have like bad lifestyle, like by bad lifestyle I mean poor lifestyle, basically, like diet is wrong, you're not really exercising, you're obese. Obese people are also predisposed to having insulin resistance. Yes, Mojola Oluwa, they are also connected. You are very, very right. So for some people like that, this their condition, being obese or having all of these bad bad fats in the body, sort of. I'm trying to use like simple terms. Sorry, I'm trying to like really use simple terms. So this can also trigger the insulin resistance, and now increased insulin or high level of insulin is going to cause, it's now going to disrupt the hormonal balance. Do you understand? So PCOS can cause insulin resistance. Insulin resistance from obesity can also cause PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome. Yeah. Okay. However, like there are managements for it, lifestyle changes, basic. I know that yes, as women, we don't want to hear it when they just, or we feel dismissed whenever we tell people about our symptoms and they just say, "Oh, just go and lose some weight." We don't want to hear that. But um I understand. I understand how annoying it can be when they dismiss our symptoms. Trust me, I understand. But the thing I want us to take away from this is that they are not totally wrong. Their approach might be wrong, but they are not totally wrong. Because research has shown that even a reduction in as little as 5% in the body fat mass can actually improve PCOS symptoms. That's the truth. But I know that it's not easy because that 5% that people say as simple as 5%, if there's anybody here that has ever tried to lose weight, you understand what I'm saying. That little, so for some of us, before we lose that 1 kg, hey, God, that 1 kg, we sweat. So I understand that it's not always that easy, especially for people with PCOS who PCOS even makes it difficult to lose, to shed that weight in the first place. It makes that insulin resistance then now war. So it makes it difficult, you understand? However, we have to try, because the backbone of PCOS management actually lies on lifestyle management and medication. Lifestyle management and medication, those are the two things that we use for PCOS basically. So it starts from exercise and diet. I'm not a nutritionist. However, there is a whole thing that nutritionists, call the PCOS diet or the insulin resistance diet, because that's actually shown, that's been proven to, help people. Like, so yeah, but let me just give you the synopsis, because I'm not a nutritionist, but you understand, I have a good idea of some of these things. I'll just give you brief information about it. Okay, so you want to limit what we call, you want to limit the fat in your diet to like less than 30% of your calorie intake daily. That's what is prescribed. Less than 30% should be fat. Still healthy fat, but less than 30, it should be less than 30%. So you want to eat more of protein and your carbohydrates. You want to cut down on refined carbohydrates, like too much snacks, like calorie dense snack. You want to reduce it. It's not you that, you don't want to be the person that will be seen eating puff all the time, buns. Yes, I know that it's good to have guilty pleasures here and there, but just try and limit it. Try and limit it. Your body will thank you for that. So limit that. Take more fruits and vegetables. I know it's not easy, like it's easier said than done, but that's just the truth. More fruits and vegetables. Can take like up to 5 portions in a day. That just helps with your satiety, because when you are full, you don't think of like munching on a lot of things. Then also fibers are very good, like oats, bran, barley, if we can find that. So you just, at least oats, we can find oats. So yeah, some of those things are very good for us. Okay, yeah, so basically that's all for diet. And then exercise, try even maybe like 30 minutes of exercise, just to maintain your weight per day, for like five times in a week. However, if you are trying to lose weight, definitely you would have to do more, but that's just like the basic thing. And depending on your condition, because PCOS comes with like different symptoms and different spectrum. Like, I can't. The thing is, actually, this topic is very wide. This womanhood, wellness, and hormones is a very wide topic. So I'm just trying to pick here and there. And if I start talking a lot about PCOS today, we won't finish. So I have to move. However, depending on your symptoms, there are medications that can help, like with insulin resistance. For people that have pronounced insulin resistance, they can get some drugs. People that are trying to conceive, they can also get assisted reproduction with that. Okay, so thyroid hormone imbalance. I already spoke about thyroid hormone and what can happen when it's out of sync. Insulin resistance, I think I've talked about it. Then cortisol imbalance, which are referred to as the stress hormone. So when the stress hormone is too much, it's definitely also going to disrupt the whole balance of the other hormonal balances in the body, and then whatnot. So basically, just try and get enough sleep. Try and create boundaries for things that you don't have any control over, or things that you can control. Just create boundaries and try and get enough sleep and set realistic routines. Basically, yep. All right. Okay, so now impacts of lifestyle. I know I've mentioned some of this already, so I'll just run through it quickly. So I already mentioned that cortisol can is a stress hormone. Cortisol can delay ovulation, and it can also worsen PMS symptoms. Then sleep. Some hormones like cortisol actually they rely on good sleep. So the way it works is that when you have good sleep, you are able to that is when the hormone gets to reset, gets to gather up again. But when you're not sleeping enough, that's just it goes out of sync. So nutrition, I already spoke about this. Balance, get good whole foods, like think of fiber, healthy fats and protein. Avoid extra or ultra processed foods, excess sugar, caffeine, just try and watch that. And then hydration and gut health also matters. Now, navigating life phases, what to expect. So this is just giving us like a brief run through of different parts of our life and things that can occur. Because as women, honestly, hormones just they keep on going up and down throughout our life cycle, from pre-puberty to puberty to pregnancy. Pregnancy itself, that's a lot. Then postpartum, then menopause. That's another world entirely. So we need to know how to navigate them. So in your 20s, my advice is that if your cycles may be irregular, maybe because of stress or PCOS. However, you can track your cycles. There are apps that you can use to track your cycle. You can also track your cycle manually. So just get to know, like you can get a diary, know your cycle length, or it can be a digital calendar. Mark the first day of your menstrual period. How long did you bleed for? What symptoms did like are they your bleeding, is it heavy? How many parts? Just try and have an idea of what your pattern is, because I see people come to the clinic. We're like, okay, how many pads do you use? I don't know. When was the first day of your last menstrual period? You don't know. You need to actually have an idea of these things. It helps so that when you notice that, okay, because you'll be surprised. Some people would not have seen their period for 1 week. They're already pregnant though. They don't know because they don't even know when to expect their period. It's not the best, especially if your period is regular. I'm talking to people that have regular periods. If your period is regular, there's no reason for you to not be able to monitor your period, because if you have a 30-day cycle, you should be able to know when your period is coming, and you should be able to like understand that, okay, these symptoms I'm feeling, is it linked to my hormones? If you are feeling sad or something close to your period, time for your period, you might link it to, okay, the serotonin is low. You can plan ahead. You won't go and fix a very important meeting or a very important something to that, because you know that, okay, you might be down during this period, so you try and walk around. So it's very important for us to do that. So PMS, manage with sleep, just like I was saying, exercise, be kind to yourself during this period. Yes, some people, their PMS is very bad, and I want us to actually normalize talking about these things. Some people have bad PMS. There's an extreme form of PMS which we refer to as it's called PMDD. So that's premenstrual dysphoric disorder. That's the extreme form of PMS. People like that actually need medication. They actually need to see a doctor. They need to be treated if it is that bad. They can be treated with antidepressants and stuff. So you need to know what you are feeling. That would help. That would even guide your doctor, because if you come to a doctor without knowing, they're asking you a lot of questions, you can't answer them, it doesn't really help your diagnosis or your management. Okay, so for menopause, this is a different ball game entirely. A lot of women don't even know that there are things called menopausal symptoms. They just feel like, okay, when I reach 40 to 45, I might stop seeing my period, and I think that's all. No, that is not all. For some people, they have it bad, like have hot flushes. That is, you'll be feeling hot inside, you'll be sweating excessively, you might feel some mood shifts because your body is transitioning. So you need to be aware of these things, that okay, it can happen. So you can start prepping for it early with probably having a good lifestyle habits. Now all the things I spoke about, your your diet, your exercise, tracking your cycle, things like that. So having these habits early can also help to ease that transition. Also, some natural supplements and mindfulness. Yes, for people who are already postmenopausal, there are supplements that can also help, that we give them when they have some of these symptoms, that also helps. But note, always check with your doctor before you start any herbs or before you start using any supplements. Now, treatment and support. The most important thing is that if something doesn't feel right, please don't ignore it. Whether irregular periods, hair loss, weight gain, painful periods. Some people just think that painful periods is normal. Yes, it's not, like a level of pain is normal during period, but when it gets to, like, when it's debilitating, you can't function, it's extremely bad. Like, you notice that other people are not having this thing, you might need to, see a doctor and get checked. Let us rule out any other underlying condition. Yeah. Okay. So if you're having persistent symptoms, if you're trying to conceive for more than 1 year or more than 6 months, if you're above 35 years, you need to see a doctor. If it is the symptoms they are so distressing for you, should see a doctor. Then there are treatment, medical treatment, there are hormonal therapies, depending on what your complaint is. And I'm not going to be prescribing any medication over this life. No, that's not good practice. However, I'm just here to make you aware that you don't have to keep your problems to yourself. You might be shocked that there is a medication that can help you for some things. Then it's very also important for you to know that medications doesn't cure everything. Medication doesn't cure everything. That is why I spoke about lifestyle. So that's why I said holistic approaches, combining lifestyle, and mindset. Sometimes you need to just understand that as women, we are more predisposed to having certain conditions, and the onus lies on us to change our mindset, to be able to take charge of our body and say, okay, I'm not going to allow this bring me down. Do you understand? You try to stay healthy, try to eat right and everything, and you just make a conscious decision to 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 do things right, so that it can also help your body as a whole generally. Yeah. So that is going to be my advice for everybody here for the treatment and support. Now, even if you didn't take anything home since morning, I want you to, like, take note of this. Tracking your cycle, understanding your body, and creating healthy habits is the real care. Like, that is just it. There's no way you do these three things and you would miss it. Because when you understand your body, when anything is like smelling fishy, you're like, okay, no, this is not the way I am normally. Something is wrong. You can take action, you can seek help if there is any need for help, and you can just understand yourself better. You are more in tune with yourself and creating healthy habits. Honestly, I know we are all trying, like, we are all struggling. See, all these things I'm saying, it's not like I'm able to follow everything perfectly, but definitely being aware of it and just trying and taking conscious efforts, that is what counts. So it's okay for you to sometimes maybe you falter, but just keep pushing yourself. Now, lastly, I want you to know that you don't have to do it alone. Seek professional help and find communities that support you. For communities, you can follow at Fettitude on Instagram. Yeah, it's very good. You'll be glad that you did. Then you can also follow me at d underscore Dr. Mutiat on Instagram. You can follow me for more tips and for us to connect. So thank you very much. I hope we all learned a lot, at least maybe one or two things, if at all. And I'm open to taking questions now. Thank you very much for having me once again. No, scare me. Okay, while I'm waiting for Noskemi to come back on, I can go through some of the comments. Yes, from Musiba Wajiboye, from O-level biology, we were made to know that testosterone is a male sex hormone. It's surprising to know that it can also be found in women. Yeah, it can also be found in women. Yeah. Okay, tracking my cycle has really helped. Yep. It's like it's a game changer for a lot of people. And there are apps that tracks the menstrual cycle, such as Flow app, my calendar. Yeah, always check with your doctor. Yeah, thank you very much, Kende Taufikat. Thank you so much. You can also follow me at the underscore Dr. Mutiat on Instagram. You can also follow at Fetitude. Please, if you have questions, you can drop them, and I'll be glad to answer them. Please, I will appreciate your questions, 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 questions. Mr. Sanusi Abila Dewali, you mentioned that you are getting ready for questions. Okay, now is a good time. Okay, um, can everybody hear me? If so, I'm going to ask some questions. So, who is ready for these questions? Okay, said okay. There is Kende Taufikat. Mapis, can you help recap on LD tips for people going through their menopausal phase? Okay, okay. So basically, the thing is that for menopause, some of the symptoms, as I said, actually, the thing is that everything that I've mentioned, it occurs in spectrum. Some people have it easy, they won't feel a thing. Some people they have it like at the other extreme end of the scale, and they feel a lot and stuff. So you could feel like hot flushes, feeling very hot when people are feeling cold. Then even your bone health because of the estrogen I mentioned, the bone health can become bad. You can be having bone pains here and there and whatnot. So the thing is that at that point when you're having these menopausal symptoms, it's good for you to see your doctor. You know, because the tip I gave actually was for before you reach that menopausal stage. Before then, you can already imbibe LD habits, your diet, your exercise. You've already built enough bone strength, not muscle, like you already built enough bone strength, so that helps. That would help. However, at that point, you can take calcium supplement. However, I don't want you to just take anything, because I know people, if I just say, okay, take this, I don't want you to just go and buy it straight. You need to still check in with your doctor so it can be individualized. However, for a lot of women at that age, the calcium level is low, and calcium also helps with bone health, so you can get calcium supplements. Also, there are some other supplements that help. I won't mention them now because I don't want you to go and be getting over the counter supplements. But yes, supplements help. And then apart from supplements, you can just try to take a day at a time, try and get enough rest whenever you're going through any of those things. If you're having headache, you can use painkillers and whatnot. Okay, let me see. So I hope I've been able to answer your question, Madam Kendi Taufikat. Okay, so Madam Rashidat Rufus, thank you, doctor. What age does menopause start? Okay, so it's also a range. The same way when you start your period is can be different from when your friend starts a period. That is the same way menopause is. However, typically menopause starts between 40 to 50 years. So for some people they have this early menopause. That's maybe around 41, 42. It's early. However, 41, 40 to 50 is ideal for menopausal symptoms to start. Okay, my questions for Martinuke Ayokbo. My question is, there are some of us do have irregular cycle length. What is the cause of that, ma'am? And do we have to panic? Okay, so just from all the things I've been saying, a lot of things can be responsible for irregular cycle length. All those hormonal imbalances I mentioned, they can all contribute to having irregular cycle length. So it will be better for you to and it depends on when you say irregular cycle length at Nike Ayoko. I want to know what is the cycle length you're talking about. Is it more than 35 days? I want to know, please. Can you however, let me, in case you don't want to share, let me just like answer the two scenarios. Okay, so if what you are saying is that irregular cycle length, as in maybe sometimes your cycle length can be up to 40 days, another time maybe you skip a month, you skip 2 months, if that is what you're saying, yeah. So it could be as a result of any of the hormonal imbalances that I've mentioned earlier. And you would have to see your doctor so that you can take your blood sample, and then they will run a test for all the hormones I talked about. So they will ask, or they will request for your luteinizing hormone, your follicles, like they'll take your blood sample and run those tests so that you can actually pinpoint what is low or what is too high. Do you understand? And if it is PCOS, for instance, it can be diagnosed and it can be managed, and can be treated following all the steps I told you about. If it is PCOS that you have, do you understand? And you don't have to panic. That is why you are aware of all of these things. Like when you have information, it guides you. You know that, okay, I've this is what I'm feeling. You've gone to the hospital, they've done the test, you know that, okay, this is what is wrong with me, and you are advised on how to manage it. And you just try and live your life with that acceptance that, okay, probably my cycle length it's not never going to like be regular per se. you know so I hope I've answered your question, Atinuke Ayoko. Please, if you need any clarification, please let me know. Please, any other question? Okay, I can see that Nurse Kemi is live. Nurse Kemi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I can hear you. Are
Right.
there any more questions?
Yes, I can.
Just very amazing. Trying to mute here and
Sorry, Atinuke Ayopo, please, have I been able to answer your question? Do you still have any clarification, please? Sorry, Nurse Kemi, you're back.
okay. Okay, can you hear me now?
Okay, can you hear me now?
All right, thank you so much. Yes.
All right, thank you. All right, thank you. All right, thank
Okay,
you.
all right, thank you so much, Dr. Mutia. Thank you so much. Please, can we all appreciate Dr. Mutia? Sorry, it's been a very difficult struggle coming back online. Can we appreciate Dr. Mutia? That was an amazing class. So just let me know at any point if you can hear me again. That was an amazing class. Thank you so much, Dr. Mutiat. Thank you. God bless you. We celebrate you. We appreciate you. Thank you for, I said it as I was introducing Dr. Mutiat. I said, one of the best is coming to teach us. So you can only expect, the best as well, right? Because one of the best is coming to take us. You can only expect the best. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Thank you. So, do we have any more questions before we call it a night? Do we have any more questions? Before we call it a night, I already mentioned I was going to ask questions, and anyone that gets 5 questions correctly will be getting a prize. It means you will take a prize home. You won't even go home alone. You're going home with something. You're going home with a prize. But let me know if you can hear me, please. Please let me know if you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
If you can. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, thank you so much. So I said, do we have any more questions before I ask the question? And anyone who gets 5 questions correctly, don't panic, right? The questions are from what was taught tonight. So anyone that gets 5 questions correctly would go home with a prize. So is there any other question? Is there any other question before I ask the question tonight? And are you ready? Are you ready? Ready? All right, Dr. Mutiat. Rashida Trufus says, thank you, doctor. Thank you for taking us powerfully. Thank you for the amazing session as well. So are we ready for the questions? I don't see I'm ready. So I will know that we're actually ready. It shows you were attentive, right? Okay, so the first question is, can you list 5 key hormones? Dr. Mutiat mentioned more than 5. I think she mentioned up to 8 or 7. So she mentioned more than 5 key hormones in womanhood. So can anyone list 5 key hormones. Can anyone list 5 key hormones? Okay, okay, okay. Who is getting the prize tonight? Can anyone list 5 key hormones in womanhood? Okay, let me see if there are new comments. Okay, okay, okay. All right. Who can list 5 key hormones in womanhood? Can anyone list 5 key hormones? Dr. Mutiat mentioned more than 5. She mentioned up to 7. Let me give you a hint. She mentioned cortisol. So who wants to get the remaining 4? Okay, let me see make it 5 because she mentioned more than 5. So who can give me the remaining 5 key hormones that we have in womanhood? She mentioned them. Okay. Who is very fast? Who is very fast? Who is very fast? Sorry, I'm trying to check the comments. Okay, is anyone trying to get that? Anyone trying to bail us out? Anyone who wants to go on with the price tonight? Okay, I see. Candy Africa already told me that she's ready, and I can see that. Okay, serotonin, estrogen. Okay, let me see so that everyone can see us. Okay, I think everyone can see that now. Serotonin, estrogen, testosterone, luteinizing hormone, progesterone. All right, thank you, thank you, thank you. That's the first question. She won't put an follicle hormone there. All right, thank you. So the second question is, what are the common hormonal imbalances in women? What are the common, okay, let me just say list 5 as well. Common hormonal imbalances in women. Common hormonal imbalances in women. Common hormonal imbalances in women. So far, so good. Ken Taufik is leading. I don't think I'm seeing any other response, but I think she's the only one I can see responding. So, what are the common hormonal imbalances in women? Okay, I'm waiting. While I wait, please do not forget to subscribe. Please do not forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Please click on the red button and subscribe so you can be notified whenever we upload a new video. Please subscribe before you leave the chat tonight. Subscribe. Okay, I see Adetoro Esther. I see PCOS. Let me put it up so everyone can see as well. PCOS, insulin resistance, irregular periods. Okay, you mentioned 3. I said 5. Would you love to give me 2 more? Would you love to say 2 more? You mentioned 3. I said 5. Would you love to say 2 more? Would you love to say 2 more? Right, you gave me 3. I need 5 common hormonal imbalances in women. 5 common hormonal imbalances in women. Give us 2 more. 2 more. Who's ready to bail us out? 2 more. 2 more. 2 more. 2 more. 2 more. And please ensure that you subscribe before you leave the chat tonight. PMS. Let me put it up so everyone can see as well. PMS and cortisol or thyroid imbalance. All right, thank you. You learned. Okay, I see you coming. Okay, Dugo Baba says testosterone, serotonin, progesterone, estrogen, follicle. I think you see answering the first question. All right, thank you so much, sir. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now the last question, right? What do you do, right? Dr. Mutiat also mentioned that she cannot prescribe medications here on live, right? And I think one thing most people do is you try to use someone else's experience to measure what to do. Some might have it, and then maybe you feel the symptoms. They're like, okay, my friends use that medication. Let me use that. Let me use this, right? And Dr. Mutiat mentioned that it's best to visit a doctor, visit the hospital, so you can be properly diagnosed and given the right medication if there is any need at all. Now, who can mention the impact of lifestyle, or should I say what lifestyle activity can actually cause hormonal imbalance as well? Like what lifestyle activity or what lifestyle activities can cause hormonal imbalance? That's the last question for tonight. The lifestyle activities that predisposes women to hormonal imbalance. Anybody? All right. Cortisol something. I see something. I see something for me. Oh my god. All right. Anyone answering that? Lifestyle activities that predisposes women to hormonal imbalances. And I'm sure that you learned something tonight. I'm sure you learned, and I'm super excited because asking questions and you being able to respond shows that you learned something, and I'm super glad about that. Right, let me put it up so everyone can see as well. Smoking, malnutrition, insufficient rest. Okay, Dr. Mutia, did you mention smoking? I'm not sure because my network was quite distant, but I don't think I see smoking in the slide. So before I judge, can you just type myself? No. That's all I can remember. Thank you, Candid
It's
Africa. I
insufficient
really owe
rest.
you a prize. Yeah, insufficient rest is there, but she mentioned smoking and malnutrition. So I know that. I'm not sure you mentioned smoking. I'm
I
not
didn't
sure.
mention it, but it's always good to not smoke. So okay, I didn't mention that. I didn't mention smoking, but it's a good one.
Okay, all right, all right. Thank you, Candid Africa. Dr. Mutia supports your answer. Smoking is a good one. Do not smoke. All right. All these things can cause hormonal imbalances. Thank you, Kenneth Africa. You are the first. I mean, you took the first position in tonight's class. Well done. Please, are you on the WhatsApp group? Are you on the WhatsApp group? The hormone WhatsApp group. Are you there? Please reach out or tag me so I can see you because I don't know if you are there or not. So I can give you your prize. You've done well and you learned a lot. Well done, well done. Thank you. Dubu Baba says irregular period. PCOS, insulin resistance, thyroid imbalance, restlessness. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, thank you. Thank you. Atunike Ayoko, the questions are being asked. They are not being typed, so you might not see it being typed because I'm actually speaking. I'm asking the questions. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. It's been an amazing, amazing session. Dr. Mutiat, we say thank you once again. Please follow Dr. Mutiat. I think she dropped her Instagram handle. Please follow her. You know, I'll keep on saying she's the best. And I think we would get to collaborate again, right, Dr. Mutiat? So you should get ready to see Dr. Mutia again. Thank you so much, Dr. Mutia. We appreciate you. We celebrate you. Thank you for giving us the best tonight. Thank you for educating us. But I personally learned a lot. So we learned like a refreshing kind of thing again. Thank you so much. We are grateful. We love you. We celebrate you. And to everyone that joined in tonight, thank you for being here. Thank you. I see Kende Tafika, Jubu Baba, Tinuki Ayoko. I see Esther, Adetoro. I see Mujola, Rashidat Rufus. I saw Musba Wajiboye. Everyone that joined in tonight, God bless you. We love you. We appreciate. We celebrate you. Please don't forget to click on the red button below to subscribe so you get notified whenever we upload a new video. And please, on the WhatsApp group, the Instagram handle will be dropped there, so you can just tell us what you learned from tonight's session as well. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Do have an amazing night's rest, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your night. Thank you. So we meet again. Take good care of yourself and follow Dr. Mutiat's instruction. Dr. Mutiat, would you love to give a final what's it called a final word to everyone, to every woman that you've spoken to, because in a way or another you have impacted, right, with your words. We've learned with what you've taught us. So would you love to tell all the women listening to you any important or final words tonight till you see them again, until you get to speak to
Yeah,
them again?
okay. Okay, basically, I think it's just still what I have on my screen that I would tell them, or that I would tell everyone here. You don't have to do it alone. You can seek professional help and find communities that support you, no matter what you're going through, whether it's debilitating period pain, whether it's infertility, or whether it's just you're just having you're just being stressed. The fact that you're a woman, you're just being stressed. You can always seek out communities that support you. Yeah. So till the next time we see, I want you to hold that in your left hand so that you don't use it to eat. Yeah.
All right, thank you so much. We will not use it to eat. I think someone said women are power women. Yes, women are power women. And women are amazing. The female body is so amazing. Not to say that the male body is not amazing. I'm not trying to, pick a side, but I am a woman and I know that is amazing. So, dear women, take good care of yourself. We are here to support you if at all anything. Remember, no self-medication. If you feel anything, please report to the hospital and be properly diagnosed and taken care of. We love you. Dr. Musiat, can you tell them you love them too? We love you so much until we see you again.
We love you. Until we see you next time. Thanks for coming.
Thank you so much. All right, bye everyone. Good
Bye.
night. Bye
Good night.
everyone. Bye.